Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing today. In this video, we're diving into the latest updates about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. You don't want to miss this. So make sure to stay tuned till the end and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The bright studio lights of Live with Kelly and Mark had just switched off for the day. The small crowd filtered out, the seats emptying one by one as the studio assistants cleaned up the set. Kelly Ripa sat quietly in her chair, the smile she had worn for the past hour slowly fading. She could feel it, something heavy, something dark, settling into her chest. For weeks now, she had noticed it in Mark's eyes, a flicker of something she couldn't explain. Something that wasn't the warm, teasing mischief she had known for over 2 decades. No, this was different. This was a storm brewing behind a calm face. Mark Consuelos had always been passionate, fiery even, but lately he carried a strange edge. He snapped at small things. He grew silent during dinner. He walked around the house with a tension that made Kelly's heart twist. She tried to ignore it, tried to tell herself they were both just tired, overwhelmed, busy. But deep down she knew, this wasn't stress. Something had changed. And today, she had finally seen the truth. The moment that had shattered her came just an hour earlier, live on air. It was subtle. The audience probably didn't catch it. The crew pretended not to. But Kelly saw it, the crack in Mark's facade. The way his smile dropped for a split second when she playfully teased him about forgetting their anniversary last year. She had meant it as a joke. Mark usually laughed at those moments. But this time, his jaw tightened, his eyes hardened, and for that one tiny moment, he looked at her with an anger she didn't recognize. It lasted barely a breath, but it felt like the floor had fallen out from under her. Now, as the studio emptied, Kelly stayed seated, gripping the arm of her chair. She could hear Mark somewhere behind her, laughing with one of the producers, his voice casual, light, as if nothing had happened. As if he hadn't just revealed a part of himself she had never seen. She inhaled, gathering herself, and stood. She didn't want to bring it up at work. They had always had a rule. Home problems stay at home. But this wasn't a home problem anymore. His rage, hidden, quiet, controlled, had started slipping into their public life. And that terrified her. Chapter 1, The Ride Home. The ride back to their apartment was quiet. Too quiet. Mark drove with both hands gripping the wheel, the tendons in his arms tense. Kelly stared out the window, watching the city rush by in a blur of lights and shadows. She counted the street signs, the buildings, anything to keep herself from speaking too soon. Her heart felt fragile, as if one wrong word could break it completely. Finally, Mark exhaled sharply. "You're upset," he said. Kelly blinked, surprised he was the first to speak. "I'm confused," she answered carefully. "About what?" "That look you gave me on air, it wasn't normal, Mark." He stiffened. "You're imagining things." She turned to him fully. "I know you better than anyone. I saw something you didn't mean to show." The car slowed at a red light. Mark didn't look at her. His jaw clenched, and she could see the muscle jump beneath his skin. "That's exactly the problem," he said quietly. "What problem?" "That you always act like you know everything I'm thinking, everything I feel." Kelly froze. "I don't act that way. I just—" He cut her off. "You don't listen anymore. You don't see what's happening to me." Her breath caught. "What is happening to you?" She wanted to ask. But before she could speak, the light turned green and Mark pressed the accelerator a bit too hard. The rest of the drive was suffocatingly silent. Chapter 2, Behind Closed Doors. When they arrived home, Mark dropped his keys on the counter and went straight to the living room. He didn't take off his coat. He didn't sit. He stood near the window, staring out at the skyline, shoulders tight and unmoving. Kelly approached him slowly. "Talk to me," she whispered. He didn't turn around. "I've been trying to." "No, you've been holding things in," she said gently. "But today, I saw the dam break." Mark's hands curled into fists. A chill ran through her. "Mark," she said softly, "I'm not your enemy." He inhaled shakily, and when he finally turned around, Kelly felt her stomach drop. His eyes, usually warm, dark, full of affection, were tired, hurt, and beneath that, burning quietly, was anger, real anger. "Do you know what it's like," he said, voice low, "to feel like every flaw you have becomes a joke? Like every mistake you make becomes part of a story for the audience to laugh at?" Kelly's throat tightened. "I've never meant to hurt you." I know, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. She took a step closer. Then tell me what I've done wrong. Let me fix it. Mark shook his head. It's not one thing, it's everything. Little comments, little pokes, little reminders that I'm the one who forgets things. I'm the one who messes up. I'm the one who's always catching up to you. Her eyes widened. Is that how you see yourself? Some days, he laughed bitterly. Yes. Kelly's heart fractured a little. She had no idea. Not a clue. She thought their teasing was part of their charm, part of what made them so beloved as a couple. She never imagined it cut deeper than she realized. Why didn't you tell me? She whispered. Because I didn't want to be the angry husband, he said, voice cracking. I didn't want to be the guy who loses control. I wanted to handle it. I thought I could. He looked away. But today, on live TV, I felt it slipping. Kelly reached for his hand, but he pulled away. That hurt more than anything. Chapter 3, The Breaking Point. The clock ticked loudly in the silence between them. Kelly felt tears rising, but she held them back. Crying wouldn't fix this, she knew better. Mark, look at me, she said softly. He didn't. So she stepped closer, slowly bridging the distance, until she stood right in front of him. I'm sorry, she whispered. I truly am. I should have been more careful. I should have paid more attention. Mark swallowed but still didn't meet her eyes. But hiding this from me, hiding your anger, that's what scares me. Kelly continued. Not the anger itself. The fact that you felt like you had to lock it away. Alone. Mark's breath hitched. For the first time, his expression wavered. You're my partner, she whispered, placing a hand over her heart. The one I trust. The one I choose every single day. But if you shut me out, if you hide your pain instead of sharing it, I can't help you. I can't support you. Her voice cracked, and it breaks me. Finally, slowly, Mark looked up. His face softened the moment he saw her eyes glistening with emotion. Kelly, he murmured, the anger melting into regret. You don't have to be perfect, she said. You never did. You don't have to hide your frustration. You don't have to pretend you're okay when you're not. He closed his eyes, guilt washing over him. I didn't want to burden you, he whispered. You're not a burden, she said firmly. You're my husband. For the first time that night, Mark's shoulders lowered. The tightness in his posture loosened. He looked truly exhausted, emotionally drained, like a man who had been carrying something heavy for far too long. And then, finally, he broke. A quiet sob escaped him, and he covered his face with his hands. Kelly stepped forward, wrapping her arms around him just as his walls collapsed. He held onto her like someone terrified of losing the one steady thing in their life. I'm sorry, he whispered over and over. I didn't mean to scare you. Kelly rested her forehead against his chest. I know, baby, I know. Chapter 4, Healing. They sat together on the couch, wrapped in a quiet, fragile peace. Mark explained everything. The pressure of the show, the comparisons, the online comments calling him the lesser half. The constant feeling that he was always trying to catch up to Kelly's energy, her rhythm, her effortless charm. He hadn't known how to express it. He didn't want to sound jealous or insecure. So he bottled it up until the bottle cracked. Kelly listened, holding his hand the entire time. She didn't interrupt. She didn't defend herself. She didn't explain. She just listened. And when he finally finished, she leaned in and kissed his forehead gently. We fix it together, she said. No more hiding. No more pretending. Mark nodded, eyes soft. I promise. Epilogue, a new beginning. The next day, they returned to the studio. Kelly wasn't shattered anymore. Mark wasn't hiding anymore. They walked in hand, not as two people performing happiness, but as two people rebuilding it. Their smiles weren't perfect, but they were real. And for the first time in a long time, that was enough. Stay tuned for all the updates about Kelly Ripa. We are the first to publish all the information about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, so stay with us to get all the latest updates. And stay tuned to our Kelly and Mark report for all updates.